So how do you build an entire world without some long, boring exposition dump? Well, sometimes all it takes is one character walking into one training yard. We're about to break down how a single, super tense scene can reveal literally everything you need to know about a world, its people, and all the pressures that make them tick. Wow, just let that one sink in for a second. This single sentence sets the absolute tone for everything. This isn't a place that just reacts to war, it completely revolves around it. Violence isn't an accident, it's a duty, it's a job, it's as normal as breathing. And that core idea, it's gonna shape every single interaction from here on out. All right, so here's our game plan. We're gonna start with the city itself, then zoom in on all the whispers and rumors flying around our main guy. We'll see how the leadership reacts to him, watch this critical test they put him through, and then finally, we'll unpack what it really means to be called a relic in these ranks. What's so great about the world building here is that it's not done through history lessons. Nope, it's all done through the senses. It's about what you hear, what you smell, and what you can literally feel under your feet. Let's dive into how the whole atmosphere of this city gets us ready for the conflict to come. This just lays out the city's values in such stark detail. Think about it. The first sound in the morning isn't birds, it's the clang of armor. The first smell isn't bread baking, it's the smoke from forges making weapons. And then there's this line, the ground itself feels willing, almost like the planet itself is tense and ready for a fight. And this is the environment our protagonist, Jason, has to walk into. So yeah, Jason, he is what's called an Earth incarnation. He feels that unsettled ground more than anyone because he has this direct physical link to it. He can influence it. Now, in a world built for war, you might think that's a good thing, right? Makes you a hero? No way. It doesn't make him special, it makes him an anomaly, a potential weapon, and a source of a whole lot of fear. The second Jason shows up, he just completely disrupts the disciplined, predictable army life. He instantly becomes the focus of gossip and superstition, and we get to watch it escalate, like right in front of our eyes. And it starts so simply, Just a whispered question. This isn't aggressive, not yet. It's pure curiosity. But right away, he's been singled out. He's separated from everyone else, just by his reputation alone. And then, here comes the nervous bravado. The soldiers start joking about his power, but the joke itself just screams fear. They're mocking the idea that the ground can talk to him because the alternative, that it actually can, is completely terrifying. It's their way of trying to take back some control by laughing at it. And finally, we get to see a myth being born in real time. Before he's even done a single thing, Jason's already a legend, a story people tell in hushed tones. What he actually does is almost secondary to what people believe he can do. At this point, he's not just a person anymore, he's a walking piece of folklore. And that just pushes him even further away from everyone else. Now, this wave of unease doesn't just stop with the new recruits. Oh no, it goes right up the chain of command, and each leader's reaction tells us something really different about the power structures of this world. So just look at this breakdown. Nobody, and I mean nobody, treats him like a regular soldier. You've got Commander Paltus, who's just openly hostile, using public humiliation to show who's boss. Captain Aurelia is all business. To her, he's just a variable to be assessed and controlled. Captain Meladrill just dismisses him, which is its own kind of power play. And General Spine? He sees a chance for a cruel show, a way to test a new tool. The difference between Paltus and Aurelia is especially interesting. Paltus's authority is a performance. He needs an audience, he has to be the loudest guy in the room. Aurelia's power is the exact opposite. It's quiet, it's precise, it follows the rules. Her authority comes from the system, not her personality. This shows us there are different kinds of power here. One is built on ego, the other is built on order. So all this tension, the whispers, the mockery, the leadership's watchful eyes, it all builds to this one single moment. A test. General Spine decides it's time for a demonstration, a public display that's basically designed to force Jason's hand. And just listen to that language. Spine doesn't say, let's see what the soldier does. He doesn't even say the Earth incarnation. He says the relic. A relic is an object, a thing from the past. It's completely dehumanizing. Jason isn't being tested as a soldier here. He's being assessed as a weapon. This brings us to the absolute core question of the entire scene. Everybody watching is waiting for a display of power. They want to see the Earth move. They want to see soldiers get thrown around. But Jason, he's faced with a very different choice. What would you do? Would you give them the big show they want? Or would you choose something else? power or patience. His choice is just fascinating. He doesn't unleash his power at all. Instead, he demonstrates perfect discipline. When the formation starts to buckle, he stabilizes it. He absorbs every hit without hitting back. He redirects all that chaos back into order. And most importantly, he consciously refuses to use the very power everyone came to see. He makes a choice. You see, the real demonstration wasn't what he could do, it was what he chose not to do. In a world that values violence and strength above absolutely everything else, Jason's greatest strength is his restraint. It's an act of defiance that's way quieter, but honestly, far more profound than splitting the earth in two would have been. And that brings us to our final analysis, which circles right back to that word General Spine used. In this world, is Jason a man, or is he an object? I mean, this chart pretty much visualizes the whole problem perfectly. Almost nobody sees him as just a soldier. To some, he's a myth. To others, he's a threat. And to the people in power, he is overwhelmingly seen as a tool or a weapon to be used. The person part of him has been almost totally erased by his ability. And that's exactly what relic means in this context. It's an object of power. You don't get to know a relic, you don't ask for its opinion. You assess it. You figure out how to point it at your enemies. This society isn't trying to understand Jason. It's just trying to figure out how to use him. So what can we take away from this one incredible scene? We see that great world building comes from how characters react to each other, not just from descriptions. We learn that true character isn't about what you can do, but what you choose to do when the pressure's on. We see that real power can be found in restraint. And, maybe most chilling of all, we understand that for this world, Jason is simply an asset on a spreadsheet. You know, the most insightful observation in the whole scene comes from Princess Denai, who's just watching from a balcony. She seems to be the only one who gets what's really happening. The real conflict isn't in the yard between the soldiers. It's inside Jason. The real fight is him against his own power. He keeps stopping himself. And all of this leaves us with a final, provocative question to think about. When someone has the ability to shake the very foundations of the world, are they the one in control, or does the power itself take over, defining them, controlling how others see them, and ultimately dictating their fate?